Welcome, YouTube. We're excited to bring to you this Cards HQ Value Box series. Cards HQ Value Box series. Actually, on this video, you're going to see how our first trip to Cards HQ, we found a 50-cent card and turned it into $80, flipping that card on eBay within 24 hours. You'll see that in just a minute. Here was my original idea to start 2025 in the baseball season. The Braves are going to be awesome. I want to go to at least a dozen games, and let's go to Cards HQ before every Braves game that we attend. It's only a mile or so from the stadium, and let's sit and pull cards from their value box, the 50-cent value box that they have there, and then let's flip them and let's just document the whole thing. That was my original idea. Unfortunately, the Braves were terrible this year. They had a tough year. We got really busy this summer. We didn't go to as many games as we had anticipated, but we went to several. And you're going to see in this series, this special series that we put together, everything that we were able to pull and sell and flip, going to Cards HQ here in Atlanta, Georgia, and just focusing on the value boxes. Like I mentioned in this session, I'll explain how all this really came together and how it cost us zero out of pocket to get started. But I'll share that with you. I'll share with you the 50-cent card that we flipped and made $80 on within 24 hours. In session two, I'll show you how we took $106. We invested 200. We bought 212 cards, paid $106, and turned that into $330 plus. In session three, I'll share with you 17 cards. Now, we bought several. I can't remember how many, probably a couple hundred. But I'm going to share with you 17 cards that we found that we're turning into $170 plus in profit. Think about that for a minute. 17 cards from a 50-cent box, 50-cent box, and turning those 17 cards into $170 plus in profit. In session four, you'll see how we spent 1 hour before Braves game, and the cards we bought and flipped there was enough to pay for my ticket, Dawn's ticket, my wife, our daughter, and her fiance tickets to the Braves game, and a lot more. We hope you enjoy this series. As always, your comments and feedback are greatly appreciated. And make sure you like and subscribe so you can see the next session and the next session if you want to get in and kind of look over our shoulder as we share with you our Cards HQ 50-cent value box experiment. Let's get into the first session. If you guys will give me a few minutes, I think it's real important to set this whole series up that we're doing on the value boxes at Cards HQ and the return that you can get if you're willing to do the work. I think it's real important that we set this up correctly. So I just want to kind of explain how all this came about. First of all, I have to say that I was so thankful that Cards HQ came to Atlanta. They announced that they were coming to Atlanta, building out this shop, which is the largest shop in the United States, about the time that I got back into the sports card market. Some of you know my brother and I had a card shop in the late 80s, early 90s. We had a blast, great time, went to a lot of ball games, did a lot of shows, and it was just a great time in my life. And then I got out of it for years, and through a set of circumstances, I found myself back in it here a couple of years ago. And the information that I've gotten from market movers and sports card investor on YouTube has made a tremendous difference. I'll talk about that at the very end of this series, probably in more detail. But the fact that Cards HQ came to Atlanta about this time has really benefited us, Dawn and I, very much. And I remember the first time we went to Cards HQ, we weren't there for the grand opening, but we were there that week, the week of the grand opening. And we were there in the supplies area, buying some supplies that we needed. And standing there was Teapot. And I introduced myself and told him I appreciated his content and what they were doing, and told him about my story. And my brother and I had a shop, and I was getting back into it. It was like trying to learn Chinese, because back in the day it was tops, donors, and Fleer. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And now I feel like I'm trying to learn Chinese. And he was very supportive and encouraging. And he probably thought, well, this guy will be around for about 90 days and I'll never see him again. But he didn't come across that way. And I appreciated that. And I appreciate a lot of what they do there. And I understand, different people's personality rubs different people the wrong way. Some people can't stand my southern accent, and I understand. I don't really enjoy a accent from someone from Boston. No offense, but some people's personality is just over the top, and it's like, trying to it's like fingernails on a chalkboard, and I get that. But I also understand I've got to look past personalities or personal quirks, and what is the content? Where are they coming from? What are they trying to do? Are they adding value? And if they are, then I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. And that goes for everybody at Cards HQ and what they're doing over there. So, enough said on that. Let me get into how this all really came about. This video that Teapot did, Dollar Bin Strategy, kind of blew my mind when I saw it, because we probably went to Cards HQ 4 or 5 times during the first 3 or 4 months they were open, mostly for supplies and just checking out the shop when we were over there. And I hadn't been in several months. And when he came out with his dollar bin strategy video, I'm thinking there was no value boxes there when we were there before. Where are they? They were not there originally when that shop opened. So it kind of got me thinking, well, we definitely need to head back over there. And what was really fascinating to me when I read, when I saw this video, and I thought he did a phenomenal job, which he does with everything, is I found the comments to be absolutely fascinating. And I always do. When big influencers on YouTube drop videos that are extremely valuable for serious people, it's amazing some of the comments that people have. And this was just some of them. No way he got lucky enough to get a one out of 6,600 in the box. Whether, you know, do you think he was just lying? Do you think it was, I mean, what are you trying to say here? Some of the moronic statements. Go to a card shop you don't work at and find some deals. No doubt anybody can go to any card shop, not any card shop, but the majority of card shops, look through value boxes, and if you know what you're looking for, can find deals. I've been to over 50 card stores and none had what his had. Anything for views. Come on, caveman. Anything for views. Do you think he cares whether you watch this video or not? Do you really think you watching makes any difference whatsoever? Good content, enjoy the video as always, but truth is $100 profit probably not realized for 2 to 3 years by the time all the cards might sell. And that may be true. So one of the criteria to make profits in this market is, number one, you must be willing to do the work. Most people won't dig through dollar boxes or value boxes, and you must have patience. And you've heard me say that 1,000 times. So yeah, it may take a while for some of these some of these cards to sell, but so what? If you're making the type of returns, if you're making a 500% return, why does it matter? I mean, where else are you going to make those type of returns? It's just amazing. And then this one, not worth skipping your lunch for this. Yeah, I can almost guarantee you how much credit card debt that person, Chucky, has. Not willing to do the work. So it aggravates me. I feel sorry for the people making such ridiculous comments, and I feel sorry for the content provider normally, because of all the people on YouTube, the one that doesn't deserve this, without question, is Teapot. Uh, and again, it goes back to what I've said many times. Some people just live their life seeing the glass half empty, and it's obvious in their comments. And I've said my piece on this. I did a video. It's on this channel. It's got good reviews. Good engagement. There's 4 types of sports card YouTube commenters, which are you. And I'm going to try not to go down this road very often, but I did. And the reason is Dawn and I have been doing value boxes as one of our methods to make great profits in this market, guaranteeing, I say guaranteeing ourselves profits in this market from almost the very beginning. And you guys, if you watch this channel regularly, you've seen many times we went in a value box, pulled out a card, sent it to a grader. It came back in 9 or 10 and sold it and made $30, $40, $50. You guys have seen that happen over and over and over on this channel. So it was kind of shocking to me because I never had seen Cards HQ really do any value box type content until this video came out. So that's the first part of the setup. Got that? Dollar box, value boxes at Cards HQ. Didn't know they were there. Cool. We need to check it out because I believe and have proven to myself over and over and over there's a lot of money in value boxes if you're willing to do the work and you have patience. So that's the first idea that I want to communicate. The second, another way, and probably one of our most favorite ways that we secure cards, is by buying collections. Sometimes people contact us and we buy collections that way, or on Facebook Marketplace. So about the time this video came out, I had just picked up this collection from Facebook Marketplace. This person had 516 cards. They were all relics, patch cards, and autographs. At the time, and still, I'm a novice, but at the time I knew nothing about patch cards, autographs, none of that. But I thought this will be a good learning opportunity. I can get these, go through them, do some research, and it'll be a great learning opportunity because I need to have a basic understanding of this niche. So that was my thought process. Now, let me just say this. Since all this happened, Teapot came out with a video called The Most Ignorant Sports Card Purchases of All Time. It is a phenomenal training on understanding patch cards and relics. Phenomenal. It's so good. We've added it to a must know self-education session of the back end of the Automatic Sports Card Profits course that we're currently putting together, because that training and a few others that we pick out that people just must understand, must know, from a self-education standpoint. It's great. And if you haven't seen that, it's definitely worth checking out. The Most Ignorant Sports Card Purchases of All Time is the name of it. Tell you everything you'll ever need to know about patch cards. But at the time that I was looking at purchasing this collection, that video hadn't come out yet. After that video came out, it gave me a whole new perspective on this. And again, I can't recommend it enough. But bottom line, 516 relics, autographs. He was asking $500, and I offered him 75 cents a card, $387. And he said, I'll call you this afternoon. He did call. Great guy. Enjoyed speaking with him on the phone. Long story short, he was coming through Marietta with his regular job, and we worked out a deal, $400 cash, and I bought the collection. We met about an hour or a mile from here, Worked out perfect. So as soon as I bought them, I started doing my research, and I pulled out about a little less than 100 of the 516 that I felt like I could sell and make $200 back pretty quickly. And that's what we did. We pulled out about 100, listed them on eBay, and I still got 400 or so patch cards and autographs. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to send the rest of these to ComC and let them figure out what they are and who they are and what team they played for and so on and so forth, and let them list them. That was my thought. So the next day, we were headed to the Reds and Braves game. And I thought, well, maybe I'll take these 400 and take them to Cards HQ because I want to go and check out their dollar boxes or their value boxes. I'll keep saying dollar box. At Cards HQ at the time of this video, all their value boxes, it's 50 cents a card, 50 cents a card. But my thought was, I'll see what they'll give me for these. Maybe I don't have to wait for ComC to get the cards loaded. And if you've done anything with ComC, you know it takes a while. And maybe I can take these 400 cards and get a quicker return instead of sending everything to ComC. I have no idea what they'll offer me for these cards, what kind of offer they'll make, but it'll be worth taking them just to check out. Plus, I want to go see the dollar boxes anyway. We're going to the Braves game. Let's just go a few hours early and stop by Cards HQ, and that's what we did. And since I'd last been there, they've made this session or this section in the shop open now, where it's made it real easy to get your cards graded, or they'll ship them to you. They'll ship them. They'll do a pre-grading through Got Baseball Cards. And then if you have cards to sell, you just show them what you got. They'll tell you if they want them or not. They'll give you a price. I've only done this one time, but they have this whole window you just walk up to. So we walked in the door, walked right up to the window. The guy looked through the cards. He said, "How much do you want?" And I said, $400, because I knew I'd invested 400 if I could get my 400 back, and I got $200 in profit, $200 coming to me in profit from the cards I'd already listed on eBay. I'm good. And he said, I can give you 300. And I said, what about $400 in store credit? He said, he looked at me and he said, that'll work. We can do that. See, so he took my information, he put $400 in store credit in the computer, and we were done. So I'm feeling good. I've got $200 profit coming. I've got $400 in store credit. I'm at Cards HQ buying supplies anyway. We're good. But let's go see what they have in the value boxes, the 50-cent boxes. So that's what we did. Well, I spent about an hour rummaging in the 50-cent value boxes prior to going to the Braves game, and we were pleasantly surprised. So we sat down at the value boxes for about an hour before we had to go to the game, and pulled out about, I think it was a little 110 cards, maybe something like that. Not a lot, but we had a good time. We pulled out a stack of cards, went up. They had our credit in the system, $400. They deducted it, and we took our cards and we headed to the ball game. We have a couple places we like to eat at the Battery prior to the game, so we sit down, had a nice meal, went to the game. We're excited to be there to see the Reds and the Braves. It was just a great time. We love going to the games and enjoy watching the Braves, especially when they're good. And of course, I've been a lifelong Reds fan. Some of the cards that we picked up, we've already sold at shows. Brock Byers, Vlad McConkey, LeBron here. We picked up, I think, 3 of these. Yeah, 3 available. We sold these for $4.97 each. They're all gone. These came from the 50-cent value boxes from that day. We sold one the first week, you know, 800% return, which was pretty cool. We have a lot of Cincinnati Reds and Bengals fans that follow our store on eBay. We sold this Chris Collinsworth. A lot of people know him for his announcing NFL games, but he was a great receiver for the Bengals as well. Back in the day, we sold that $2.50, so we paid 50 cents for it. We pulled this Rod Carew, sold that. Pete Crow Armstrong at the time, nobody really knew a whole lot about him. This is the very beginning of the year. We pulled this and sold it almost immediately for $3.95 on a 50-cent investment. So we were happy about that. It sold like within 24 hours. And we pulled a lot of cards that we sold and made tremendous return on our money. A lot of people were thinking, Dale, yeah, but you're dealing with 50-cent cards. And here's my philosophy, and you'll hear me say it 1,000 times on this channel. 500% return is 500% return. Yes, I would rather make 500% return on $30,000 than I would $3, without question. But when you first get started, and again, talking to my grandkids or anybody else that's first getting started, make those returns and keep investing, keep that snowball rolling down the hill. Keep 500% return is 500% return. So I'm beyond excited about that. Here's another card that we pulled from 71, the football game cards. Sold that. This was the card that was the big winner. This was the card that brought us back and created all this content, really. This is a Rafael Devers short print card, and I loved it. I thought it was a cool looking card because there's the big green monster back here in the background. I just thought it was an awesome looking card. So I pulled it. I had no idea what it was or what it was worth. And I did some research. I couldn't find it on eBay, couldn't find it anywhere except Market Movers. And I found it on Market Movers and realized it was a 2022 Top Stadium Club, super short print, yellow variation of Rafael Devers. And I priced it. I was going to send it for grading. And I said, you know what? I think this is such a cool, unique card. I can probably sell it raw fairly quickly. And we took this 50-cent card listed on eBay when I got home from the game that night, and it sold almost immediately. We didn't know really how to price it. Thanks to Market Movers, we had some idea, but we priced it at $99.97. Somebody made us an $80 offer, and we took it and sold it within 24 hours. So do you think we were happy with our trip to the 50-cent box at Cards HQ? We were. Unfortunately, the Reds got beat. Don was happy. I love the Braves too, but I'm a diehard, lifelong Reds fan. It went into extra innings. The Reds got beat 2-1 in 10 innings, but we had a great game. This is a lifestyle business when you can mix sports cards with ball games, minor league games, major league games. It's just a great lifestyle business for us. We love it. So yes, it is true. We made from our initial trip to Cards HQ, when I look back and look at what we sold, and our investment was basically nothing because, as I explained, it came from store credit. But it was definitely a 5 times our money. If we look at using $100 or less than $100 in store credit and what we were able to turn it into, we were beyond thrilled. So if you want to learn about, I think the answer to that question is yes, it is possible. And if you want to see what happened on our next trip to Cards HQ, subscribe to this channel. Part 2 will be coming up. It'll be dropping soon. and we'll share with you our adventures of the Cards HQ value boxes. This is a short series that we're doing on this channel. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, your comments and feedback are appreciated, and we'll talk to you on the next one.